What's up, YouTube? We're looking a little crusty. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, just ignore all the crustiness. So, this is a reminder to myself and to whoever is watching that you can get anything you want, yo. You can literally get anything you want. And what I mean by that is that the only thing keeping you from your goal is doubt, often enough. Because as human beings, if we want something, if we really want something, we get it, regardless of what it is. If we really, really want to lose weight, for example, but we don't put in the work necessary, like we don't go to the gym, we don't eat right, we don't monitor, our intake and all of that stuff, and if we're not diligent about it, we don't actually really want to lose that weight. You feel me? Like, you only really want something if you do everything it takes to get that thing. So you can have the things that you want, you can. But you shouldn't be afraid of putting in work, and you shouldn't be afraid of the time that it takes to get to that goal, Also, if you really want something, you would keep yourself in a mindset that enables you to get that thing. What do I mean by that? I mean that in no way, shape, or form would you ever have a sliver of doubt that you would be unable to get that thing, or unsatisfactory to get that thing, or invalid in some sort of way. If you really want something, you have the conviction, you have the belief that you can get it because you feel that you deserve it, and that you are capable, and that it is well within your reach. If you are, experiencing any of the opposite, if you are having doubts, if you are distracting yourself, sidetracking yourself, not putting in the work to lose that weight, you are not really wanting that goal in full effect. We are very, very capable. We are extremely capable as people. We have an enormous amount of mental, emotional, and physical strength. In order to be a human being, there has been years and years of evolution and sculpting and probabilistic opportunity that has brought us here. And if you look at this from a scientific perspective, if you look at this from an evolutionary perspective, even from a psychological perspective, it all comes down to the same thing. We are the only species that possesses such a great capacity for knowledge, and as a result, because we possess that capacity, we can possess that knowledge. Do you see what I'm saying? The knowledge to alchemically transform things that are happening in our life currently. The knowledge that we are manifesting with every single thought that we think, that every single thought has potency and power and weight, and that they exude energies, our thoughts. And once we become conscious of this, we become conscious of the fact that we really are the ones in control of our lives. We really are limitless in our expression, in our absorption, right, of knowledge and information, and in our demonstration. We can do all of that which we know, which we have come to know, which we want to know and want to do, and the ways in which we want to grow. So, just had the inclination to make this because for the past 2 weeks, I've been struggling. To put it lightly. I've been in a place of doubt, and it's not funny, I don't know why I'm laughing, but I mean, it's a little funny, like, if you think about it, like, it's a little bit like comical. All of our problems are just a little bit comical, because they're so temporary, and they don't last, and they're not gonna matter in 5 months, and they're not even gonna matter in 5 weeks, and yet we sacrifice our emotional well-being, we sacrifice our happiness, we sacrifice our time and attention, and we put so much emphasis and thought towards our struggles, honestly. And it's funny, you know, human beings are so fickle. But so I was going through a little bit of a rough patch there. I have a lot of internal dialogue all the time, as I'm sure most people do, especially if your sun is in your 12th house. That is another topic. But recently I've had like multiple I'm gonna sound crazy. It's like, oh, are you schizophrenic? I've had multiple ongoing dialogues in my head. Usually there's just one prevalent ongoing one, but I've had multiple voices in my head telling me different things, and like just there's been a plethora of self-doubt for me. There's been so much self-doubt for me. So I am making this video as a reminder to myself and as a reminder to you, if you experience, you know, any of these things, which of course you do, everybody does, all the time. Sometimes we're not even consciously aware of the fact that we're putting ourselves through turmoil, right, and overthinking and stress and anxiety, especially with air signs. Overthinking tends to happen quite a bit. But anyway, so remember this, because this is the definition of the mindset that can set you free from any one mode of thinking or any one way of doing things. Because really, the way we carry out our lives, the way we view our lives and ourselves and the people around us, has to do with the mindset that we carry throughout everything. So once you understand that mindset is the most important, mindset is the person driving the car, right? Once you realize that, you think, okay, well, what can I do to change this mindset? And this is what you can do. And once we realize that we can actually change our mindset and alter the way we look at the world, we don't ever go back. We don't ever go back. We don't ever lose that knowledge or that information. It is ingrained in the very depths of our consciousness, you know, arguably our soul, regardless in any way in which you want to look at it. So you don't forget once you learn how to shift your mindset. And they say that a habit takes 21 days to form. So start. As soon as possible, start. I can tell you from personal experience that I have gone through multiple mindset shifts, and each one has become more and more and more evolved than the last, and has yielded more and more beneficial responses. Just from life, like just from my life, I've literally seen myself transform through multiple stages of myself. And each one has to do with taking on a new mindset, a new way in which you look at your situation, right? So I hope this was beneficial, and keep watching for more content. I don't know how to end this video. Like, I just literally dropped a bomb on you. Like, how am I gonna leave? Like, I don't know. Good luck, man. Like, this stuff works. This stuff works. You hear positive thinking all the time. Oh my god. Throughout high school, like, that's all I heard. Like, think positively, be positive. And I was so sick of it and so done with it. So I was just like, what are you even telling me? Like, this is BS. It doesn't work. You're literally just spitting something very broad and unsupported and unscientific. I don't want sprinkles in my tea. Like, give me something substantial. Positivity. I hate that word now. But once you kind of discard the illusion behind the word, you come to realize that that truly is the basis for building a strong foundational mindset. The basis for building something substantial. That is where you begin in terms of growth. You begin by accepting gratitude. People are scared to be happy. You know, as human beings, our brains are always searching for something to pick on and for something to find fault with. But once you switch it entirely and you become afraid of finding faults with anything, okay, obviously that should not be how it is. You should be discerning as well as grateful. Obviously the two should go hand in hand. You should always be discerning. But once you look at every single thing in your life as like a sign or like, you know, something to be happy about, even if it's completely shitty, even if that car accident, I don't know, wasn't a sign, man, that's terrible, so sorry. Like, what can this teach me? Or if something good were to happen, that's amazing, thank God. You have to be thinking in this sort of way in the first place. And if you're not, fake it until you do. If you buy a bag of chips and, you know, like, they're not the chips that you were looking for, this happens to me all the time. I'm fat, okay? But you manage to get a bag of chips instead of thinking, oh, like, I wish I got the Cool Ranch Doritos instead of, you know, the nacho cheese ones. It's fine. I prefer the Cool Ranch, always. Instead of thinking that way, you think, I'm so glad that I got this, that I was able to drive myself to Walgreens. Walgreens? I don't know. I go to Walgreens a lot. It's open 24/7 and I'm awake 24/7, so I'm so happy that I was able to go to Walgreens and drive myself here. I had the means to get here. I had transportation. I had money for gas. I had money to buy this bag of chips that has been imported from God knows where, honestly, but is readily provided and available to me for my consumption. I'm so grateful. If you think that way about all things in your life, you will never be poor. You can never lose. In terms of emotional gratification, in terms of physical gratification, because things will start appearing into your life. Do this, I promise, it works, I've experienced it. In terms of all gratification, you can never lose. So, that was my 2 cents. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Oh, Pierre, you want to come out here?
In New York, I merely rock, hiding in my socks.